Hello, we are live. I am Ben, or Frater Adamasto, with Goetic Impressions, and I'm going to be talking to you today a little bit about our Kickstarter, what's going on with it, where we're at, some other things, as well as showing off some of our stuff that we have. You'll notice behind me right away some Enochian banners in the background. Those are the next stretch goal on the Kickstarter. There's a little bit of a sound issue in the background. I apologize about that, but we should be all sorted now. Um, but yeah, so first things first, the Kickstarter. Doing pretty well right now. We're over 200% funded. There are some more stretch goals that we're trying to hit. Um, I'm confident we'll probably at least hit the first one, which is the banners, which you can see behind me. Um, But Kickstarter has actually reached out to us as well as some of the other creators on their platform, and due to the situation right now in the world, has offered a 7-day extension for Kickstarters that are currently um, live. So we talked about it, discussed it, and we have opted to take advantage of that. So we are going to have an extra 7 days on our Kickstarter. I believe there is 5 days left as of today, so that's going to be going up to 12. So a little bit of extra time. So hopefully we can hit some more of those stretch goals and maybe do some of the fancy things, which I will show you in a bit. Um, Also doing this so that if any of you have any questions, you can have an opportunity to ask them directly to me while I'm here, and can actually answer them live on stream for you, ideally. But that may not be the case. If you can't watch us for whatever reason, it is going to be available on the Kickstarter page later, probably on YouTube, Facebook. I'm sure we'll keep this on Facebook for a while. So, yeah, you'll get to see my face and hear my voice later on if you so choose. But anyway, let's dig into this. Alara gave me some things that she wanted me to touch on as well, so I'm going to try and get through all of this and then start showing you guys some of the actual stuff we're making. So, what is the Kickstarter about? Um, I imagine most of you who are watching this probably are familiar, at least in a roundabout way, with what Enochian is. You may not have actually practiced it yourself or anything like that, but you've probably at least heard about it, I would imagine. For those of you who haven't, it is a received system of angelic vision magic that was transmitted to John Dee and Edward Kelley several hundred years ago now at this point, in the late 1400s, 1470s. And they interacted with these angels through a series of things, which ultimately built up to the Enochian system. They worked through several systems prior that eventually led to the receiving of the Enochian system itself. It's a pretty complicated system. There's a lot of moving parts. There's definitely easier systems to work with out there. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't want to put in a lot of time and effort, Nokian's probably not the system for you. If you don't have an issue putting in time and effort, then what you put in is what you get back out of it. So, but the nuts and bolts of Enochian comes down to connecting with an angelic plane or an aether, which is removed from our own plane by varying degrees. And then different planes have different angels on them, different elements attached to them, different things that those angels are particularly good at or skilled at, particular information they can impart to you, and sometimes physical changes in the world around you that they can either help you with, give you information on, or change directly in some circumstances. Um, I don't really want to get into an entire breakdown of what is Enochian and how to practice it because um, that's not really why I'm here. different people practice it differently. There's a lot of different methods that have built up around this. We don't have the complete notes that John Dee and Edward Kelley left behind. Some stuff is fragmented, some is lost, some stuff is directly contradictory. So obviously we're going to have different interpretations and different ways of working the system that have come about since then. I'm not in the business of pointing any fingers and telling anyone this way is right, this way is wrong. People are going to find out for themselves and make their own mistakes, and that is perfectly okay. That is how you learn. But let's move on. Why did we choose to do Enochian in general? Why are we making Enochian stuff? So our first project was with the 72 Goetic demons, making their seals into wearable medallions, lamans that you could use in actual ritual function. Enochian's not necessarily the most logical stepping stone from there. It's in the same stadium, if you will, but it's not necessarily directly related to it. It is a system that I have always found very interesting personally, and working with it, I've had some pretty good results. My results are not public. I don't share the results of my rituals in general, with a few special exceptions. But for the most part, what I do is between me and either the person on whose behalf I'm working or the entities that I'm working with. But Enochian has always kind of resonated with me a little bit. So after we were done with the Goetic medallions, and those were received very well, we decided, okay, what other systems can we work on? And there was a whole bunch of ideas that were kicked around, and finally we settled on Enochian. And here we are today. So I guess at this point, according to the script that has been given to me, I am supposed to take questions if there are any questions. I don't see any questions. And immediately following that, we're going to be showing stuff off. And I think showing stuff off is far more interesting and why people would come here in the first place. So let's start with this. Let me just find a right side up on it. Here we go. The webcam is slightly off center. I'm trying to find the best way to show this to you. But this is paraffin wax. It's 9 inches. It's about maybe a little over an inch thick. It's very functional, and this is actually what led kind of to this ending up being a Kickstarter. I decided to make one of these one day, and threw a bunch of wax from candles we had together, chopped them up, melted them down, and then made one of these. This is actually not the original one that I made. The original one that I made was not the full 9 inches. It was a little bit smaller, but we really liked the way it came out. We posted some pictures. Some people seemed really into it. And while the one that I had made was just for my own personal use, because of the interest we were getting, I was like, maybe we can expand this if there's actually enough people out there that want to see this. So we made some more, took some more pictures, kind of perfected our technique a little bit, and yeah, so here we are with that. This is a smaller one. This is a 4-inch sigillum. And the function of these in the actual ritual is these 4 smaller ones are supposed to be under each leg of the table in cylindrical wooden boxes. The weight of the table is not supposed to rest on these directly. If it does, it will probably damage them, if not right away, over time. They will suffer some warping, denting, scraping, bruising, etc. as they would because they're wax. So on the reverse side, you have Agla, Atagibu Leolam Adonai, um, which if you work with the system, you will probably recognize, or even if you know the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, which is probably where most people hear that first. So we have those. Those are both really cool. Made of paraffin wax. They are the correct size and dimensions. Everything is made using a transfer method to actually get the inscriptions on there in the way that you see. The same way that we make our candles when we make our imprinted candles. I have a few of those to show you a little bit later on as well. But these are really cool. Seeing them on camera doesn't really do them justice. You have to kind of hold them and play around with them yourselves. The lighting here isn't super spectacular, and my webcam is not the highest quality, so you're not going to see it exactly how it looks in real reality, but you'll get a rough approximation, which should be pretty cool. So the next thing that we have, this is our table of practice tablecloth, for lack of a better term, I suppose. You throw this across your table, it's 2 feet by 2 feet, and it turns any table into a holy table of practice, effectively. And the reason for that is it is really hard to have a custom-made table to the size and specifications that are given in the diaries for actually working this system. It's expensive, it's unwieldy, it's going to take up a huge corner of your room. Most people, A, don't have that kind of money or that kind of space for a ritual object like this. You take something like that cloth, you throw it over your table. Any table is converted with, appropriate consecration and etc. of your working space into a holy table of practice, and you're good to go. So, happy about that. It came out actually a lot nicer than I thought it was going to, and this is actually the item that has been getting the most hype recently from people. So I want to show this off. This is not, strictly speaking, an object within the system. Enochian describes what they call a show stone, which is supposed to be in the center of the larger sigillum, through which you scry and you see whatever angelic visions the magic is going to give you. This is what we did for our show stone for this. Now, it's hard to see on the camera. This is a crystal ball with a laser-etched sigillum de ameth in the center of it. It is really cool. These are a stretch goal right now on the Kickstarter. They are incredible. It's amazing. These I can't speak highly enough of this. I really, really like these. If we do not get funding for this on this Kickstarter, if we don't reach the stretch goal, these will be their own thing later on. This will be its own independent project at a later date. We're gonna try and do this and see if that makes it a little clearer. It is very difficult to see. We're gonna have to take some more videos with this later, in proper lighting, so that you guys can see how awesome they look, because they're really cool. They're really fucking cool. So yeah. If we can get to, what is it, what do we have that stretch goal at? 10,000. That stretch goal is at 10,000. If we get there, these will be part of this current Kickstarter. If we do not, they will be available in the future, either through Kickstarter or we may just launch them through Etsy. We haven't decided ultimately how we will launch them, but they are going to happen at some point regardless because they're too cool not to happen. So that is that. I am also supposed to show some of the things that we've done in the past. Just to give an idea of some of the things that we've done before. This is one of our alchemical elemental pins. This is the earth one, obviously. We have all 4 primary elements as well as some additional ones. Sulfur, mercury, etc., etc. Oh, I have mercury here, actually. That is mercury. It's pretty shiny, as you can see. Water, which is, there we go. That is the proper positioning for water. Fire. And this one came off the back, but we'll just show it to you like this. This is air. We also have some of the candles that we've done. This is a Pyman seal candle. This has not been part of a Kickstarter in the past, but these are available on our Etsy. We have all of the Goetic seals, plus we can do any design that you want, because we can do wax transfers, which is what made these sigillums possible in the first place for the Enochian stuff. We also have hand-carved candles, which are a little bit rougher because they are hand-carved, but that also means an additional level of intent and energy has gone into making this because it is done 100% by hand. So, and last but not least, some of our Goetic medallions, which are the very first thing that we did. Here's a good one. This is the very first Kickstarter that we launched. We were very happy with how these turned out, and this is the first thing on our journey, as it were. So this is Seer. Some of you may recognize, some of you not so much. I actually worked with Seer during our first Kickstarter and every Kickstarter since because he's a pretty swell dude for getting things done. Hi, Julio. I see Julio in the chat. He's been around since, I think, the beginning of this Facebook page, actually. We're pretty close, too. So, hello. Nice to see you. I think we're toward wrapping it up, though, unless there is any questions that anyone has that I didn't go over, or anything someone wants to see that I didn't show. I think I showed everything that we have right now, though. And the banners behind me, obviously. But oh, yes. We have hard enamel watchtower tablets that we cannot yet show. They will be available once the Kickstarter is completed. That is where, yeah, that's the point of the funds from the Kickstarter is to get the molds made for the tablets in the first place, which are fairly expensive. But we will be able to show those in the future once they are complete. And they will be hard enamel, gold plated, roughly similar to our Goetic medallions. I believe all the specs are on the Kickstarter page, so everyone should have kind of a fair idea what they're going to look like. And yeah, I'd love to get some pictures out though, so as soon as we have those, I will at a minimum be showing some photographs. I think that's going to be it though for now. No? I've been told no. There's more, but wait. Oh, okay. Yes. All backers at $50 and above are getting a free Tablet of Union tablet, which is the XR Coma Bitom Nanta tablet from the cross in the center of this thing right here. That's the guy. Everyone at $50 and above is getting one of those for free as part of the rewards. That was this first stretch goal that we hit. And we are very close to the banner stretch goals, I've been told to say. And any backer at $140 or more is getting one of the small banners included of their choice. Any backer receiving everything is getting the large banner. Everything is mirrored, so it's flipped around. The large banner and a small banner of their choice. Yeah, I think that's what we had talked about for that. But we're not there yet. We're pretty close to it. We'll probably hit it. So that's something additional for backers that they can look forward to at just a couple $100 more. I think it's $200 more, I think, is where we're at. And that should be it now for realsies this time. I think I've covered everything. Unless there's something else that I have not covered. I did not see the question. Oh, the Goetia seals are soft enamel. This is, hold on, soft enamel. This on brass plating. They're brass. Yeah, they're a brass composite alloy with a finished brass plating over top. And then that is soft enamel that you see for the colors, which is infilled into all the recessed areas. So these are available on Etsy now. This was kickstarted last year in January. And everyone who has got them has been very happy. I don't know how many 5-star reviews we have on our Etsy shop for them now, but it is over 100. So 134, I have been told, 5-star reviews on our medallions. So that's pretty hunky-dory. Anyway, I think that is it now. For real this time. So we're going to end the live video. This will be available later on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kickstarter page if anyone did not get to see it. And we're probably going to be doing another one of these later on this week, either on Kickstarter, not on Kickstarter, on Facebook or Instagram. We may do one on Kickstarter too. Why not? I've been told they no longer do it anymore on Kickstarter. So we are not doing it on Kickstarter. We are doing it either here or on Instagram again. But that's going to be it for me. So I'm going to hop out. If anyone has any questions that I have not talked about, feel free to shoot them to us on Facebook, on Instagram, Kickstarter, website, email, etc. And I will address them in a future installment of this, or I'll just let you know directly. Okie dokie. That's going to be it. Have a good weekend, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy. Don't get the COVID. Bye-bye.